Welcome back to Shack News E3 booth 2018. In the shadows of the Nintendo and Sega booth, we have a very special guest from Playground Games, Ralph. Thank you for stopping by. What is your position at the company?
Uh, Great to be here. I'm the creative director at Playground Games.
Excellent. And the big news, when we booked this appointment, it was unannounced racing game from Microsoft. The big news is Forza Horizon 4 has been announced, contrary to what Walmart Canada thought.
Yeah, that's one in the eye for them, isn't it? Yeah, you're right. On Sunday at the Xbox E3 briefing, we announced Forza Horizon 4, which is, it was a thrill to announce it on that huge stage. It's coming to beautiful, historic Britain. That is our setting this time. And I think the biggest news is that we are bringing dynamic seasons, which change everything in the game for everyone every week to the game. That's kind of a first for open world.
The game already had so much replayability with the customizations and the events and the different DLC you've offered, but now you're doing this thing with seasons. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to be playing this for years, right? I have one of our writers back home. He's obsessed with Forza Horizon 3. He's still playing it. We streamed it just last week. So it's amazing to see how the longevity of these titles and how your studio is focused on increasing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Forza Horizon 3 has really been the test, or the inspiration, I guess, for what we're doing in Forza Horizon 4. More specifically, like watching our fans, observing how they play the game, what they do in it, has been the inspiration for the way we're setting up this game with seasons and also with this idea of living the Horizon life. And it's exactly like you said there, like the longevity of the game has astonished us. People don't binge it and discard it. It always sits, and it sits in someone's, it sits in people's recently played list all the time. They come back to it regularly. They clearly schedule play sessions, and that's something that our fans are doing and are clearly loving, that we want to really acknowledge and enhance in 4.
Very cool. They're just saying, hold the mic a little bit closer to you.
I'm sorry, is this
Yeah.
good?
Okay.
My apologies.
Just in case those folks in Twitch couldn't hear you. But yeah, no, I think the all the different things you folks have done from a longevity standpoint is it's very noticeable. I had a chance to try out the demo after the press briefing. It was so cool because was that the same level that you were showing, or was it just the same environment?
So,
because across the seasons.
Absolutely. So it is by and large the same sort of area of the map of Britain that we have, and that was a very deliberate decision by us, because what we really want to demonstrate to people like yourself playing this demo as their first introduction to the game is how fundamentally seasons change the same piece of world. And I think you probably got that impression from the transition from autumn into winter, from winter into spring, from spring into summer. It feels very different. It obviously looks and sounds very different, and that's a key part of this game that we really want people to get.
Yeah, it took it to a different level where the weather effects and the water effects and all these different things had already been great in your engine, but adding the context of a season made perfect sense, because especially in Britain, because it does have all 4 seasons, and when it's rainy, it's miserable there. And when it's snowy, it's awful. Like the spring with the mud and everything, and just the different vehicles that you chose for the different elements. It definitely highlighted, I think, this. I don't know how many years the folks have been working together on this, but like decades in the making of this like vision that you folks have already had.
That is so true. So yeah, as a studio, we've been together 8 years. As the core group have been together longer than that. So you're right. There is a synergy between the team at Playground, which has been years in the making. And also the vision for seasons is something that we have had for a lot longer than the time we've spent on Forza Horizon 4. Something we've tried to do before, which is to say, we went away and looked at it and figured out this is too hard. This is, it's too much work to do. This time, and I think it's because of the maturity we have in the studio, we came back and said, okay, let's go and tackle this. It made us just have to do Britain, because as you see, Britain is a very seasonal location.
Yep.
I feared coming to Los Angeles and having to explain what distinct seasons are. But yeah, as you know, Britain has them in abundance. And I think what that demo does is really shines a light on how even a single corner, in the game can change fundamentally. It can change your approach to it, how you're going to have to tackle it. And then if you extrapolate that out across a massive open world, you can imagine just how much variety and fun you're going to have in it.
That's really interesting. And so does that play a role into the tuning of the vehicles that you've got? Because I know in number 3 you could get in and really tinker with some of those different settings.
Yeah, and that kind of customization is a hallmark of Forza. It's kind of our job to make sure that we are bringing it forward and moving it onwards as well. I guess one of the things which you might have seen in the Blizzard Mountain expansion for Forza Horizon 3 is suddenly if we're driving on snow, we need snow tires. So there's a whole bunch of customization options that come from that. Something new that we've added this time is drag tires as well. So we've kind of almost by accident uncovered this huge group within our community who just love drag racing.
So I'm assuming drag racing through the streets of London?
Well, so drag racing certainly. So we don't have London. We chose not to do London. Yeah. Edinburgh is our city, so that kind of makes me really happy. I'm from Scotland, so that wasn't the reason we chose it. I think it's the most beautiful city in the UK. But certainly, there's drag racing opportunities all over the world. There's a drag race. There's a drag strip in the festival. There's a drag strip on this sort of the Northumberland beach, which used to be used for land speed records back, way back in the day. There's a couple more spread around. And that goes, I think, to the objective of the game this time, the purpose of the campaign mode. And it also comes back, like I was saying, to how we've observed our player base. Like, they are so diverse. There's not one group who wants to do everything. Everyone has their favorite thing within the game. And so we've created a campaign this time which really recognizes and celebrates that. Your goal is to become a Horizon superstar. But how you do that is entirely up to you. So if you're into drag racing, you could become a Horizon superstar just through rising up in drag. If you're into drift, same deal. But it's not just the racing disciplines that are that will allow you to get there. If you're a painter, or if you're a tuner, or maybe you're just streaming on Mixer, all of those things can progress your game and allow you to become a Horizon superstar.
If I'm terrible at a certain game mode, I can kind of opt for
you just don't have to deal with it. Yeah. And we see that right across our players. There's people have different tastes, and also there are things that some people just hate that other people love. We need to respect that in the game that we design.
So in Forza Horizon 3, you would have like a level as like Blizzard Mountain, right? Is it going to be a scenario where throughout the year Blizzard Mountain takes different characteristics, or how will you implement this different seasons thing? Is it literally going to be in spring in America, it's going to be spring in the game, or how will you, you know what I mean? Like, is it actually chronological, or is this something where we'll be able to choose, or there'll be different events?
So let me explain, because it requires a bit of explanation, but I think it's a really cool idea once you get your head around it. So first of all, this is a shared world game. We announced that on Sunday on the stage.
Yeah.
That means that when you play, you are playing with the whole community. They are in the same world with you. What that then means is that everything is synchronized for everyone who's playing the game. So that's time of day, same for everyone. Weather conditions, same for everyone. And season is synchronized for everyone as well. Now, that means then that seasons have to last a set amount of time. And in the game, they last a real world week. So every week is the length of a season, and then at the end of that week, whenever it falls in your particular time zone, it transitions to the next season, and you spend the next week in that season. And what that means is you're really kind of living in this world. Like, time is really passing. You can see it passing because the seasons change. The leaves go brown and then fall off and then bloom again in spring. And I think that's going to give this game a real sense of like persistence, permanence, and I think that's going to be great for the community and for like those shared experiences.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Because I remember in Forza Horizon 3, you had drivatars, and I would see my friends in races and stuff. But in this, we're actually going to be jumping in the same area, and if like we're all driving around the same area together, we can decide to do that event, right?
Absolutely, yes.
That'll be cool.
So we had co-op in Forza Horizon 3. It was 4-player co-op. We now have 6-player co-op. That's important for a reason I'll get to. But yeah, you can, if you meet your friends, or indeed anyone in the open world, you can actually just hook up and co-op with them without even going into the pause menu. It can all be done from within the world.
Very cool.
And then you can drive off and you can tackle any of the content in the game together.
And last year the team, Team 10, Return 10, sorry, they did a big thing where they built it from the ground up for PC. Is this something that you folks are taking advantage of as well when it comes to the new abilities to have cross-play and also develop for Windows?
So, I mean, that was our big thing last time, actually. Forza Horizon 3 was the first time we developed a game on Windows 10, and it was also, I think it was the first cross-play title to come out, if you cast your mind back 18 months, which was super cool. That worked out amazingly well for us. Like, having the Xbox community and the Windows 10 community playing together. For anyone who said beforehand, oh, hey, I don't want to play with those guys, like, it didn't really pan out that way because you just couldn't tell who was who. Platform fell away and it was just about gamers at the end of the day, which I think is a great message. This time our big technological challenge, I say challenge, it hasn't really been that challenging. It's been a pleasure developing for Xbox One X. So last time, it was in the future. It wasn't really a part of Horizon 3's plans. We did later do an Xbox One X enhanced version, which came out at the start of this year. But we've known about Xbox One X. We've known about its specs, known about its capabilities right through the duration of this project, which means it's been our lead platform. We've been able to design and plan for it. And I think you can really see the benefits of that this time with the visuals that we're showing this week.
And we got to wrap up, but just talk about the community and also the element of esports that could be a part of the Forza franchise. Are you focused on esports at all for this game, or?
So we're not saying it in so many words. Obviously we have a really, actually quite well-established Forza Racing Championship now, which is making great strides with the motorsport games into racing esports, and really starting to build some momentum there, which I think is great. We've always thought of Horizon as a less competitive game. It's more laid back, it's more about cooperation and fun. But that said, and I mentioned earlier that I would come back to this, one of our big fan requests from Forza Horizon 3 has been to create a truly competitive skill-based PvP mode, which is something that we haven't really had. We've kind of fudged it in the past because it's all about, hey, having fun with friends. They've asked us for a PvP mode where if they are the best, they will come first, and that's what we've delivered. And we've also made it a team-based game. So that 6-player co-op is the perfect place to go and practice with your 5 mates before you take that 6-player team into team adventure and prove you're the best. And we have real skill-based leagues this time, which you can place on and move up and down based on your performance.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you stopping by. When does the game come out?
The game is out October 2nd on Xbox One and Windows 10
and Game Pass
the same day.
Awesome. And congratulations on being acquired by Microsoft. That's big for Playground Games, right?
Thanks very much. Yeah, we're thrilled to start this new chapter, yeah.
Awesome. Well, stay tuned. We have a lot more game developers stopping by to talk about their games, so keep it locked on Shack News Twitch.
Guys, this'll be easy. Just don't miss the checkpoint, so let's go.
Did we just lose yellow? Coming up on the quarry.
Woohoo! 2. Thread the needle with me. Red's down, red's down.
Looks like I'm the only one left.
This is it, Horizon. We are kicking off the summer season with the greatest race of all time. Point yourself in the direction of Horizon and put your foot down. First to the festival wins, so let's go. Don't sweat it, the Jets aren't in the race. They're just happy to be here. Oh yeah! Drivers coming from everywhere. Now it's a party. People are lining the streets to get a load of the action. Cheer these racers on, guys! Come on! We got some awesome racing trucks out there, too. The most incredible hypercars are all here. I can see a Centenario, Ferrari FXXK, and a beautiful Bugatti Chiron. And is that a Vulcan? Oh, Horizon, you do not want to miss out on watching this. Look at that Senna go! I mean, the car, sure, but someone's got to be handling that thing. Final straight.